everyone. Hi there. If we haven't met, my name is Will Stewart, and I am the Executive Director of Stay Work Play New Hampshire, and I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the 9th Annual Rising Stars Awards. This is our, yes, make some noise. If you've never been to one of these events before, I'll let you know that it is Stay Work Play's signature annual event, and one that really serves to honor and celebrate the very talented young people here in the state and the cool companies that employ and support them. Before we really get into the meat of tonight's program, just wanted to take a brief look back at what Stay Work Play has done, some of our highlights from the past year. In an increased effort to promote New Hampshire as a desirable place to live for young people from out of state, you'll recall that part of our mission is not just to retain, but also to attract young people. On Sunday, June 3rd, that's 603 Day, we celebrated the state, showcasing all the incredible opportunities here in the Granite State to the thousands of visitors at the I-93 southbound rest area at Hooksett. Also back in June, we were named as the nonprofit partner of New Hampshire Magazine's Best of New Hampshire Party for the second year of a row, which brought together thousands of people from New Hampshire to celebrate the culture of the Granite State. And perhaps maybe our biggest accomplishment of the past year was our completion of a survey, which we did in conjunction with Eversource Energy and RKM Research out of Portsmouth, which really looked to help us gather some data on what young people are taking into consideration when making the decision to stay in New Hampshire or to leave. And this, combined with the current strategic planning process that our board is undertaking, is really going to help us chart a new and exciting direction as we move into 2019 and beyond, and to really help us move the needle on attracting and retaining more young people here in the Granite State. I'd also like to recognize the support and the dedicated efforts of those who have made tonight possible, including our volunteers for tonight and members of our Rising Stars Awards Committee. Would all committee members and volunteers raise your hand? Yeah, let's give them a round of applause. Raise your hand, guys. Thank you so much. Would also, a lot of people make events like this possible. We couldn't do it, obviously, without a great venue, including here in this beautiful space here at the Currier Museum of Art, our Stay Work Play staff, and all of our donors and sponsors that made it possible. And we'll hear and see a little bit more of that in a few minutes. But for now, let's give everyone a round of applause for helping to make tonight possible. Yes. I would also like to thank, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Stay Work Play's Board of Directors and our Board of Advisors who guide the work that we do here at Stay Work Play, for the members of the state's 13, now 14, I think, young professional networks here in the Granite State, and our volunteer bloggers who really go out and spread the word of all the great stuff going on here. Speaking of our board of directors, I want to take just a moment to recognize a few retiring board members that we have in the room. And I think I see some of them here. When I call your name, if you wouldn't mind raising your hand. Gray Chinoweth with the Advanced Regenerative Manufacturing Institute, or ARMY. I know Gray is here. Anna Moskov with the Dairyfield School. Mike Skelton of the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce, and President Melinda Treadwell of Keene State College. Please join me in another round of applause showing our appreciation for our retiring board members. At this point, I'd now like to invite Alan Chong, the CEO of the Currier Museum of Art and our host for tonight, to come up and say a few words. Alan.
Hi, good evening. Congratulations to this wonderful organization and to all of the award winners tonight. Our organizations seem on the surface quite different, but in fact we are both dedicated to the quality of life, to making New Hampshire and our region livable, enjoyable, culturally vibrant and active. We're also in a strategic planning process, and we've been resetting our mission to focus more on community, outreach, and making creativity in the arts really a part of everyone's life. So we see ourselves very closely aligned with what this wonderful organization is doing. We've launched a couple of interesting exhibitions, so if you have a chance to come back, tomorrow we'll be opening a show about the Renaissance in Italy, dedicated to myth and faith in the Italian Renaissance, with really great works of sculpture which we've borrowed from around the country. We have a community art project called Blue Trees, which is our attempt to really connect the various dots and the various locations within our neighborhood in an interesting and hopefully entertaining way. That's already up, and I think it's quite lively. And some of you have already seen a wonderful gallery upstairs, a tremendous wall drawing done with approximately 1,000 Sharpies that talks about work in our region around Manchester, how work and labor and industry and handicraft has really contributed to our environment over the last 500 years. So it's actually about you. So thank you for coming. I hope you have a great evening, and we're just as pleased to be involved with this as we can be. Thank you very much. Real great.
Thank you so much, Alan. And again, this is a perfect venue for this tonight and just a beautiful space. Now I'd like to ask Zach Lawson, the Chief Operating Officer with New Hampshire Public Radio, to come up and talk a little bit about why you're here and why you are our partner for the Rising Stars Awards. Zach Lawson.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for the introduction, Will. I think we've been partnering with Stay Work Play for nearly 6 years now on the Rising Stars Awards, and I want to thank all of the sponsors and again the Currier for putting on an amazing event this evening. So thank you all very much for that. As a lifelong, New Hampshire resident and somebody who has stayed, worked, and played here for nearly 40 years, I'm really excited to be part of this event this evening, and to share that as a team member here at NHPR, we and Stay Work Play are sort of at the nexus of what makes New Hampshire, New Hampshire. Ultimately, whether it's the journalism that we produce, covering all aspects of all corners of the state, or the long-form stories that we put together, sharing other stories around the state, or the podcasts that we've been producing that have a reach beyond the boundaries of our state. We put something together that you all know and trust, and ultimately keep listening to. A couple areas of note for us at New Hampshire Public Radio. We've recently released our newest podcast, hosted by Jason Moon, called Bear Brook. It's amazing, actually. If you've not listened, you need to. It's the story of the Bear Brook murders and how it's changed the way in which we solve crimes all over the country and frankly all over the world. And it started and it's happened here just in New Hampshire. So it's an amazing story. We also have an event coming up in a couple of weeks at the Capitol Center in Concord. Joshua Johnson, who's the host of 1A, which you might have heard, will be hosting an evening event there. They'll be broadcasting 1A live from New Hampshire Public Radio for a couple of days then as well. Tickets are still available. We'd encourage you to come and share the evening with us. And then lastly, we finished our innovation campaign very recently, and that's been able to bring us, the new news and new coverage around the state. It's allowed us to bring you Outside In, which is our podcast hosted by Sam Evans-Brown. And it's also allowed for us to do the things that Casey McDermott does for us and for you. As our investigative and data reporter, it's kind of an interesting title that makes for some compelling journalism. And I was introduced to Casey, as I'm sure many of you were, around this story that she had been putting together around these alleged busloads of voters coming from out of state into New Hampshire to cast their ballots. And it required her to acquire lots and lots and lots of data to inform her journalism to tell a story that sort of bucks the trend of the typical rhetoric and narrative around these kinds of stories. And so that is the kind of journalism that we know that the residents of New Hampshire and beyond have come to expect from NHPR, and ultimately why we're very proud and lucky to have her as part of our team, and why we're very proud and lucky to have her here hosting this evening tonight. So I'd like to introduce Casey McDermott to all of you this evening.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you all for being here tonight. I want to just preface this by full disclosure, I am not a native Granite Stater. I relocated here about 3 years ago to take a job at the Concord Monitor, and I've been at NHPR for the last few years, but I like to say that my stay, work, play has been more like work, play, stay, and I am happy to be staying here for the time being. I'm really excited to be here tonight, and we're especially thankful for our sponsors. Before we get to tonight's program, I'd like to take a minute to thank our lead sponsor, the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation. They've provided continued support and investment in Stay, Work, Play, and they've provided an ongoing commitment to increasing opportunity for our state's children with their program, New Hampshire Tomorrow. We'd also like to take a moment to thank additional sponsors that have made this evening possible. Sorry, I didn't prepare any dance moves tonight. Please join us in another round of applause for all of our sponsors this evening. Yeah.
Apologies, we had a little AV issue. If you don't mind just relaying those sponsors, that would be great. Thank you.
I figured something was up because you guys were I wasn't sure if there was something behind me. I will happily read these organizations to you now. You already heard about the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation. Thank you again to them. NHPR, my organization, the Currier Museum of Art, Celebrations Catering, Oracle and Dine, Grapponi, Dartmouth Hitchcock, GYK Antler, Productions Incorporated, Bellwether, Elm Grove Companies, Hypertherm, Northeast Delta Dental, Merchants Fleet Management, Fidelity Investments, Barry Dunn, CNS Wholesale Grocers, Sprague, McLean Middleton, Hire Alliance, Derek Russell Fimble. This is very small font. I'm sorry. Oh, Allegra Boverman Photography. Thank you, Allegra. Stacy Brobst Photography, and Glenn Fritsch Photography. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your patience with our So now for the program. The Rising Star Awards consists of 7 categories, and one of them is new for 2018. That is the Intern of the Year. In addition to that, we'll be awarding the College Student of the Year, the Life in the 603 Video of the Year, the Civic Leader of the Year, the Young Entrepreneur of the Year, the Coolest Companies for Young Professionals, and Young Professional of the Year. In addition to receiving an engraved award, all of this year's winners will receive commendations from United States Senators Maggie Hassan and Jean Shaheen, United States Representatives Ann McLean Custer and Carol Shea Porter, Governor Chris Sununu, and Manchester Mayor Joyce Craig. Thank you to all of our elected officials for recognizing our winners in this way. And to our judges that provided their time and talent in selecting this year's winners, we also thank you. It is certainly not an easy task. There's obviously a lot of talent out there to choose from. Please find the judges' names listed in your program, and if any of the judges have joined us this evening, please stand so that you can be recognized. So now we'll move on to our first award of the evening. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Donald Burks, President of Plymouth State University, to help present this year's College Student of the Year Award.
Thank you. Good evening. It's great to be here. This is my first time, and it's amazing. So it's a gem that was hidden, I guess. I, too, am a transplant. I've been here for 3 years, but it's my honor to present the College Student of the Year Award and give a little bit of background. As president of Plymouth State, I like to believe that we have 4,000 rising stars on campus every day, and I guess every president likes to think that. Students from New Hampshire and beyond are working to change their world and ours. This award highlights one of the brightest of those stars to show all of us how just one shining star can light up an entire sky and warm the world around us. To those of us in higher education, this award is especially meaningful. In an ever-changing world where the value of a college degree is questioned by some, it's so important that we take a moment to recognize the contributions of students like tonight's winner who are making the world a better place to live. Using their critical thinking skills they have developed in places like Plymouth State and universities across New Hampshire, and applying those skills to solve real problems in the communities in which they live, work, and play. And now Casey will present this award. Casey? Ah, there you are.
Oh, I'm sorry. The College Student of the Year Award recognizes an outstanding student living and going to school in New Hampshire between the ages of 18 and 40 who is an academic rising star and gives back to their community. Cassandra Bates is a recent graduate of Plymouth State University majoring in youth development and education. While attending school full-time, Cassandra had an AmeriCorps work experience, coached volleyball at New Hampshire High School, and took on the role of an administrative community advisor. On top of all of that, she found time to fundraise and create events for organizations such as Voices Against Violence and the Humane Society. She maintained a 3.81 GPA and earned such accolades as making the president's or dean's list each semester. She was also an inductee to Psi Ki, the Psychological Honor Society, and was named for Plymouth State University's Top 20 Senior Award. Her nominator said, "One look at her resume and you would think that she is a woman at a midpoint in her career, and she's only 22. She's well defined by her experiences, bringing together strong qualities in professionalism, customer service, youth development, and advocacy." Cassandra, please join us on stage to accept your award.
I'm super honored to be here, and I couldn't have done it without my family, my friends, my mentors, and the judges picking me for this. Hearing that all about me, I just feel like I'm not the person that is here, but it's incredible. So thank you so much. I'm so honored to stay, work, play in New Hampshire, and I continue to do that for many years. Thank you.
Congratulations, Cassandra. We're really excited to see what the future holds for you. To help present the Intern of the Year Award, please welcome to the stage Courtney Morin, Director of Actuarial and Underwriting with Northeast Delta Dental.
Hello, as Casey just said, my name is Courtney Morin, and I serve on the Stay, Work, Play New Hampshire Board of Advisors, and by day I work at Northeast Delta Dental as the director of the actuarial team. Northeast Delta Dental is the region's most trusted name in dental benefits. And we are pleased to support Stay, Work, Play New Hampshire, and I'm happy to present the Intern of the Year Award tonight, a brand new award category for 2018. Internships are incredibly important for professional development, and many employers in our state benefit from new ideas and talent these interns bring to the workplace. Internships also help students refine their skills, receive college credit, and/or financial compensation for their work, and helps candidates stand out in a competitive job market. On behalf of Northeast Delta Dental and my board colleagues at Stay, Work, Play New Hampshire, I'd like to congratulate all of tonight's honorees, especially tonight's inaugural Intern of the Year, who Casey will announce shortly.
So as Courtney said, the Intern of the Year Award recognizes an exceptional young person in New Hampshire between the ages of 18 and 40 who's had an exemplary impact on a New Hampshire company during their time as an intern. That person tonight is Jacqueline Rahal, a recent graduate of the University of New Hampshire. She's majoring in communications, and she held a marketing internship with Sprague Operating Resources, LLC, located in Portsmouth. One of her major projects she worked on was being tasked with assisting the brand's refresh project, which required her to work with tight deadlines, designing internal and external marketing materials, and actively participating in strategy meetings. She filmed and directed 2 major video projects and used her background in photography to create a digital assets library, making the brand more recognizable throughout the industries Sprague serves. Her contributions during her time at the company helped to make it more connected, boosted employee morale, and increased brand awareness in the communities where their employees live and work. As one of her recommendations stated, more than any other intern we've had, she's made the greatest and widest impact on the company overall with her ability to support many departments. Jacqueline, please join us on stage to accept your award.
Hello, everyone. I'm so honored to be the first person to accept this award. I'd really like to thank Sprague Operating Resources, especially the people on the marketing team. Without their guidance and collaborative work ethic, I really would not have been able to floor my creativity as much as I did. They really welcomed me with open arms and made me feel as though I was really part of a team, which made it so easy to make a difference at this company. Internships have such a cliche and they don't look that exciting in movies, but this was such an extraordinary experience. I got to travel and made lifelong friends who I will cherish forever and gained so many new skill sets that I'm excited to put into my new creative career paths. So I'm currently interviewing for full-time positions and I'm really excited to put my new skills to work, so thank you.
Clearly excels in networking. That's very smart. And congrats, Jacqueline, on setting the benchmark at this very first Rising Star Awards Intern of the Year category. That is a tough act to follow, whoever is nominated next year. Please welcome to the stage now Vicki Cimino, Director with the New Hampshire Division of Travel and Tourism, to help present this year's Life in the 603 Video of the Year Award.
Hi, everyone. So I am lucky enough to serve as the Director of Travel and Tourism for the state of New Hampshire. We are the state agency charged with promoting leisure travel to New Hampshire. It's a $5.5 billion industry for the state and the state's second largest tax revenue generator. But it goes far beyond getting visitors to New Hampshire because what we promote to encourage visitation to the state is the same reason that all of us have selected New Hampshire as our home. We spend our days communicating the varied backdrops and experiences within a close proximity. We promote scenic beauty, outdoor recreation, history, culture, and culinary offerings, and I can tell you that New Hampshire is truly a magical place to capture on film. This year's 603 Video of the Year demonstrates emotion, connectivity, and the spirit of New Hampshire. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Casey. Thanks.
So for this award, Granite Staters were asked to submit a 90-second video about why they choose to stay, work, and play in New Hampshire. The videos were scored by judges based upon demonstration of their unique personality, organization, and structure, as well as originality and vision, and most of all, creativity. We can now, I believe, watch the video of this year's award winner.
It was a long road to get here. My wife and I met in the Air Force and got married shortly after. A year later, we both got out and decided we wanted to choose where we spent the rest of our lives. We decided to embark on a 50-state road trip to find out which state we liked the best. We started by building a camper to live in and then hit the road. We saw quite a few states that we really liked. We even included some of Canada just in case. One of the last legs of our trip, we came through New Hampshire and we just fell in love with it. New Hampshire felt like a little piece of everything loved about every state in the country. Gorgeous beaches, beautiful lakes, breathtaking mountains, and it's so close to so much. Living in the city of Manchester has been a big change for us, but it's amazing. There are always events going on and literally hundreds of great restaurants. We've only been here for a few weeks, but we've already seen so much and we're so excited to see everything else New Hampshire has to offer.
So I'm sure it's not hard to see why Cameron was chosen. Just to provide a little bit more background in addition to what you heard in the video, Cameron and his wife decided to settle down and grow their family in New Hampshire. As an entrepreneur and a traveler with a passion for finance and real estate, right now he's working to obtain his bachelor's degree in accounting. The last few years have been spent indulging in another passion, actually, though, being a freelance cinematographer, which obviously was put to good use in that video. He's now employed at Hunt's Photo and Video, and this gives him the opportunity to share his technical knowledge and experience with others. Cameron, please join us on stage to accept your award.
Thank you. We are very recent transplants to New Hampshire, moving here only 6 months ago, and in that time, I feel like we've seen years worth of stuff. As you can see, we've traveled all around the country, but New Hampshire really stuck out, and we're very excited to be here. We're very excited, especially after 2 years living in a 10-foot camper, to stay and work and play here in New Hampshire. And so I just want to thank Stay Work Play and New Hampshire Public Radio for putting this on, and it's really an honor and a privilege to receive this award. Thank you.
Thank you again, Cameron. That really showed off a lot of the reasons why I think we all like to stay, work, and play in New Hampshire. So now to present the Civic Leader of the Year Award, I'd like to welcome to the stage Adam Memolo, Service Manager with Grapponi Automotive Group, this year's Civic Leader of the Year sponsor.
Well, thank you. Good evening. Civic Leader Award. Some people believe the only way to provide a charitable contribution is through something of monetary value. But a civic leader sees that differently. A civic leader donates their time. There are only 24 hours in a day. Most of us work. We might get 8 hours of sleep at night, and that leaves very precious hours left to be with the ones that we love. A civic leader finds the way. I'm here representing the Grapponi Automotive Group, who I've had the opportunity to serve for the last 15 years. And it's part of our mission statement to serve with kindness, integrity, and respect. I can't think of a better way to do that than by someone donating their time to serve a purpose that they truly believe in, are passionate about, and make a difference. Grapponi is proud to be a part of Stay Work Play and proud to sponsor the Civic Leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. And the Civic Leader of the Year Award recognizes a person who, through their volunteerism, philanthropy, or community involvement, has demonstrated a commitment to civic participation, to strengthening their community, and to developing the personal leadership capacity to make New Hampshire a better place for future generations. That person this year is Sarah Reitzman, the Executive Director of the Workforce Housing Coalition of the Greater Seacoast. An undergraduate and graduate student from the University of New Hampshire, she was a leader among her classmates and earned the distinction of Master in Public Policy Student of the Year. Her commitment to community has led to her involvement with various organizations. That includes a garden coordinator with Plant for Growth, a facilitator with New Hampshire Listens and Portsmouth Listens, a team member with Plan New Hampshire, a program manager with the Echo Thrift Shop, Friends in Action, and a member of the Seacoast Women's Action Network. Her nominator says that Sarah does this work because she understands how the shifting demographics of New Hampshire present new challenges for the state's economy. Her love for her home state drives her to do all that she can to ensure a bright future for New Hampshire and for its residents. Sarah, please join us on the stage to accept your award.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here, and there was so much that I wanted to say, and luckily I was given a little bit of leeway with my 30 seconds of remarks, but I'm still going to try to keep it short. There's been a lot of transplants up on stage. How many of you were born in New Hampshire? Raise your hand if you were born here. Great, me too. I don't know if I always intended on staying and working and playing in New Hampshire forever, but the truth is that, because most teenagers think about moving far, far away from home. But the truth is that I've never been anywhere that made me want to leave here. New Hampshire is my home, and I think I'm in good company here when I say that. And professionally, I found my home in the housing world, and housing affordability is a big part of the recruiting and retaining young professionals in the state, a big part of what Stay Work Play does and what we're all working to do. So it's an honor to be recognized for the little part that I play in that big picture in making New Hampshire the best state that it could possibly be. There's some specific people in the audience that I really want to say thank you to for helping me get here tonight and to continue to help me to get wherever it is that I'm going in New Hampshire. George Regan is here from the New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority. He didn't know that I was going to thank him tonight, but to be honest, when I started my job, I didn't know what I was doing, and if it wasn't for George's encouragement and guidance and allowing me to call him constantly, I might have quit. And of course, I need to thank Sarah Dorner and everybody at the Carsey School of Public Policy for nominating me tonight and for shaping my career when I was there as a student getting my master's in public policy. And I have some family here, and I want to say thank you to them too for all of your support. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Sarah, and thank you for your commitment to New Hampshire. You can tell that it really means a lot to you. To help present the Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award, please welcome to the stage Matt Cookson, President and CEO with Cookson Strategic Communications. Thank you.
Thanks so much. It's great to present this award. Having a really long history with Stay Work Play, being one of the founders of the organization. It's really exciting to be up here. Entrepreneurship is an absolutely essential component of what drives New Hampshire's economy, and the person that's going to receive this award epitomizes that. I did a little background checking because we can do that now, and some of the folks that I talked to, this individual is a superstar. She's done great stuff, but this is a really, really good state for young people to develop, nurture, and drive great ideas. We talk about this as a state of 2 degrees of separation. We have really great access to key people. Everyone in this room knows it. If you have a good idea, you reach out to someone, they'll introduce you to someone else and help you foster a wonderful idea, help you nurture it, figure out if it is a wonderful idea, and make modifications. So this is a terrific state to stay, work, play, and become an entrepreneur. And I really look forward to hearing about our next Young Entrepreneur of the Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. And the Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award honors a visionary New Hampshire resident whose innovative ideas are helping to shape the future of our state through an entrepreneurial venture. That person is Krista Lewis, who is the CEO of Aisling Organics, a pure makeup line with a mission to provide users with safe cosmetic options. The origin of the brand was developed from her personal story, which is demonstrated through her leadership for educating and speaking about women's health and beauty. In 2017, she was a participant in Alpha Loft's Accelerate New Hampshire cohort, and she won SCORE's business growth competition. Giving back is also important to her, as evident through her relationship with Lipstick Angels, which is an organization that's dedicated to offering empowering beauty services to cancer patients. She's secured an agreement with Paul Mitchell to distribute her first-in-the-market liquid lipstick along the East Coast, and recently received a 300,000 unit purchase order from Ipsy, which is a popular beauty subscription service. Krista, please join us on stage to accept your award.
Hello, everyone. What an honor to be here tonight. But honestly, I didn't do it alone. I really want to give a huge shout out to Andrea O'Brien from the Small Business Development Center. She was the first person I met with when I started my business, and honestly, I definitely wouldn't be in my shoes now if it wasn't for her. So thank you so much, Andrea. I also want to give a special shout out to my parents, who are sitting in the second row, of course, because not only did they raise me in such a wonderful state, but they both owned businesses, which was a great role model for me growing up. And they encouraged me since the second that I started to keep plugging on and knew that I would make something of myself. So thank you both. Either way, I really appreciate all the judges for not only believing in me, but believing in my vision. And if anyone's looking for organic makeup, come find me. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Krista. Obviously, we have a lot of very skilled marketers in this room. So. To help present this year's Coolest Companies for Young Professionals Award, please welcome to the stage Gary Sloper, Head of Global Sales and Engineering and Customer Success with Cloud Edge Services at Oracle, this year's Coolest Companies for Young Professionals Award sponsor.
Hey, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm actually a boomerang, so I am one of those born here, and I wish the many, many years ago that I was getting out of school, there was an organization like this. So everybody that's volunteering, that is participating, keep doing that. And it helps drive a lot of things that the ecosystem wants to continue doing, like these coolest companies we want to talk about. Dyn, as you know, was acquired last year. We're the business unit within Oracle, so we have a really big job of protecting the internet. And we continue to add jobs here, especially in Manchester. We've just added under 50 new jobs here in the last year, so exciting things. And we're actually a past recipient of this, of the Coolest Award as well. So, you know, when I think of Coolest Awards and Coolest Companies, it's not about just having beer and a ping pong table at your office. It's about the leadership that transcends culture all the way down. And that starts with your individuals and having a continued commitment with your customers. But what you're going to hear and see the list here tonight of folks that have been nominated and won, it's across the entire ecosystem of services in the state, from plumbing and heating services to protecting cybersecurity threats and maintaining GDPR at the same time. So there's a lot of good things going on here in the state of New Hampshire that are really, really cool and exciting, but the companies are what makes it even more exciting. So with that, I have 3 envelopes that were brought in by Lock and Key, similar to the Oscars. And so the first award recipient that I'd like to announce is CCA Global Partners. So this company has 117 employees in New Hampshire, and 39% of its workforce is under 40 years old. Unfortunately, they could not be here this evening, but their nomination here from a CCA perspective, everyone's voice is heard and valued. In fact, the ideas put forth by 2 of the former CCA interns, the folks that are building into this ecosystem, have since become 2 of the 15 divisions of the company. That is huge, great accomplishment. Let's have a round of applause for CCA. So please join me in congratulating another one of the coolest companies for the Young Professionals Award winner. And this is Freedom Energy Logistics. Come on up. 72% of the workforce at the company is under 40 as well, as 45% of their leadership team. Their nominator states, the vibrant atmosphere here is a magic combination of award-winning company growth mingled with a fun amount of competition and support. So let's hear it up for Freedom Energy. Come on up.
Wow. Well, thank you. And Gary, I know what you said about the beer and ping pong, but it does go a long way. So, no, I came on at Freedom 6 years ago. We were 14 or 15 people, and we're 28 strong, maybe up to 30 sometimes. We have our interns here. And thank you for doing the video for us from Plymouth State. Very good. And we made our mistakes early on who to hire, how to help us grow, and what our company culture is going to be. And we kind of navigate our ways, took our lumps, and then realized, New Hampshire's a great place to be. We've got a lot of young professionals already. Let's keep tapping into that. Let's work through this. Let's work through these internships. Let's work to these career centers. Let's look at these local universities and let's bring some people in. And fortunately, I don't know what they were listening to when I interviewed every single one of you back there, and you chose to come work for us. But they're the ones that actually have built our culture. I mean, I couldn't do all this without our owners' permission, without the support of our senior staff. But 72% of us are under 40. And we've made the Inc. 5000 2 years in a row. So we're doing really good things there, and we love being in the Granite State. And I appreciate all the young people that have allowed us win this award. So thank you.
That's great. That's great. So the last award for this evening is the People's Choice Award for Coolest Companies by Young Professionals. And the winner is Core Medical Group. So the company has 81% of its workforce is under the age of 40, and 65% of their managers being under the age of 40 as well. Their nominator states, Core not only recognizes employees who have personal achievements that deserve recognition, we understand that our employees have a life outside of the office. Hopefully everybody heard that, outside the office as well. And the office, we want to recognize them for what's happening here too. So congratulations to Core Medical Group.
Thank you, and on behalf of our whole company and my partners and myself, I'm one of the ones who's actually over 40, but we have a fantastic group of young individuals, and I'm really proud to have seen so many folks grow from just coming right out of college to being super successful in our sales and our operations area. I will say, Jacqueline, we are hiring. And so please do check us out. And Cameron, I'm CFO, so when you do get your accounting degree, come visit us. Really proud to be in the Manchester area. We've recently relocated from Salem up to here, and we're just growing, and I highly encourage everybody to grow. So we do have beer. We don't have ping pong, but we have shuffleboard. So come join Core. Thank you so much.
Let's give another round of applause for all of those winners tonight. So to help present our final category of the evening, I'd like to invite Amy Gellio to the stage. Amy is the Chief Human Resources Officer at Dartmouth-Hitchcock, this year's Young Professional of the Year sponsor.
Thank you, Casey. I'm so impressed with all the award winners this evening and the businesses that are supporting our young professionals. On behalf of Dartmouth-Hitchcock, and as well as being a New Hampshire native myself, we're also a proud sponsor and supporter of Stay, Work, Play New Hampshire. Dartmouth-Hitchcock is the largest employer, private employer in the state of New Hampshire, employing almost 14,000 healthcare professionals. We are honored to deliver healthcare to the citizens of our state and beyond throughout our region. And so when we think about being the largest employer providing health care, one of the most fundamental and vital services I think that we all need, workforce development is top of mind for us, and we're working on our strategic plan now to expand that to see how do we keep young professionals in our state. And I think some of the businesses that were outlined this evening on how they're able to do that is a great example of how you can really stay, work, play in New Hampshire. And as the Young Professional of the Year award is being announced shortly by Casey, it's just another example of how do young professionals not only work in our communities, but they also give back, and they are able to grow both personally and professionally. And I think we have lots of opportunities in the 603 to do that. So with that, I'm proud to hand it over to Casey for the Young Professional of the Year award.
Thank you, Amy. This award recognizes an outstanding individual who's living and working in New Hampshire between the ages of 18 and 40, who is a rising star in their industry and giving back to their community. That person this year is Kaylee McPherson, Program Manager at Wilcox Industries. She has been a strong STEM advocate, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics advocate since her undergraduate days at the University of New Hampshire, where she studied mechanical engineering. Kaylee supervises the Robotic Pits First team. She's also an organizer of the New England Fall Astronomy Festival. That sounds really cool. And has spoken at various events in New Hampshire community colleges. She's also involved with the New Hampshire High Tech Council's Tech Women and Girls Initiative. Some recent accomplishments include being awarded as the 2017 New Hampshire High Tech Council's Tech Woman of the Year, one of the union leaders' class of 2018 40 Under 40 honorees, and a recipient of Catapult Seacoast's 10 to Watch Awards. As one of her letters of recommendation states, Kaylee's personal drive plus her educational experiences, including her work toward 2 master's degrees, coupled with the experience she has had as a leader in her career, has shaped her into an outstanding professional. Kaylee, please join us on stage to accept your award.
Thank you very much. I will keep it short and sweet. Being an engineer, we're not known to speak for long times. Thank you very much to Stay Work Play. It's truly an honor to be recognized for something that I love doing. And I very much appreciate it. So thank you, Stay Work Play, and all of the sponsors. Thanks.
Congratulations again, Kaylee. And thanks again for your work promoting science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in New Hampshire. And to all of this evening's award winners, thank you for your remarkable work that you've done in shaping the future of the Granite State. And speaking of winners, we'd also like to thank all of you who participated in our Plinko fundraiser made possible by the Manchester Monarchs and the many New Hampshire companies that donated raffle items. And now we have another award to present, our final winner of the evening. For those of you with raffle tickets, now would be the time to get those out. We are going to draw for the winner of the 50/50 cash raffle. Give you a second there to get ready. I'll just give you a little bit of background on this while you're doing that. Half of the total proceeds from this raffle will directly benefit Stay Work Play, and the other half will be to a very lucky winner. The total amount of the raffle is $427.50. So that means that you will be going home with $213.75. And we'll do the honors. The winner is the person with the number 369520. Congratulations.
Actually, can I say something?
Of course.
I'm going to give it over back to Stay Work Play because what a great organization. And if they can keep on doing things like this, then it's just a little gift back to you all.
We'll just switch places in another moment. Just wanted to thank all of you for coming out tonight. This, I will say, just personally has been a really nice reminder of why I like my job and why I really like being here in New Hampshire. There's such a diverse assortment of people doing really cool things across the board, and thank you all tonight for all of the work that you've put in and for taking the time to be here. So Will, you can take your place.
Thank you, Casey, for being this evening's MC. Come on, guys, one more round of applause for Casey McDermott. I would like to echo everyone's congratulations to our winners tonight. Thank you for investing your time and talent to building the future of New Hampshire, and we are very excited and look forward to hearing more about what you'll be doing in the future to make New Hampshire a great place to stay, work, and play. As to the future of Stay, Work, and Play, I want to offer, in our closing moments here, just a little glimpse of where Stay, Work, Play is going in the coming 12 months. What work lies ahead, and where we'll be engaging our efforts in 2019 and beyond. So, starting really next month, thanks to our partners at Dartmouth Hitchcock, we'll be hosting the second Young Professional Network Summit of the year at Dartmouth Hitchcock in Manchester, which is a half day of professional development. Yes. As mentioned before, we do have 14 thriving young professional networks across the state that are really the incubators of talent and are working to keep these folks here. And so we see these summits as a way to engage, train, and help network these groups with one another and share best practices. Also in November, we'll be launching a New Hampshire employer internship toolkit at an upcoming internship event with the New Hampshire High Tech Council. And for those of you who don't know about nhinternships.com, it's a great site, free to employers and internship seekers as well, to be able to connect with one another. And the reason we're so hyped up on internships is that there's data to suggest that if someone has an internship in a state, they're twice as likely to stay in that state, to remain there 12 months post-graduation. So I would encourage all employers here in the room tonight, if you don't have an internship program, see us, get a copy of our internship toolkit when it comes out next month, and it'll make starting it and engaging in it a little bit easier for you. I mentioned earlier we had a survey that we conducted in the past year to give us some data on where young people are, what factors they take into consideration when making the decision to stay in New Hampshire or to leave. You know, one of the things we heard, kind of on maybe the negative side of things, is that that young people in the state are lonely. 21% said they didn't have a single friend nearby. They also talked about a lack of, or perceived lack of, cultural and entertainment opportunities, as well as job opportunities, believe it or not. So one of the things we're going to be launching in the spring of 2019, in conjunction with our Young Professional Network colleagues, is a series of regional guides. We're calling them insider guides that will help employers to be used as a recruitment tool, and really to help young people see and get to better know all of their own particular regions, entertainment, recreation options, as well as ways to make connections and find jobs. So we're looking very much forward to releasing that in the spring of 2019. And perhaps our biggest step in 2019 will be wading into the world of nonpartisan issues-based advocacy in Concord. I can say that you go to Concord, and for those of you who do advocacy work, it seems like every industry under the sun has their own advocate in Concord. From the hospitals to the insurance agencies to automobile dealers, but there's really no one advocating on behalf of young people about the needs, wants, and desires of this group. And that's something that we've heard loud and clear from our Board of Advisors and others, supporters, donors, and sponsors, of the need for Stay, Work, Play to be that voice. So we will be engaging in that work in 2019, and look forward to hearing more about that. So finally, I'd like to thank two people without whose support and hard work and dedication to extreme detail made this event possible tonight, and without whom this great event, simply would not be possible. And those would be the Stay, Work, Play team, which consists of myself and our small but mighty team of our communications and outreach manager, Beth Sansusi, and our events coordinator, yes, Beth. Beth is our rock at Stay, Work, Play. And also the newest member of our team, events coordinator, Sarah Davis. Say hi, Sarah. So in closing, I want to bring everyone's attention to the 10th annual Rising Stars Awards, which will be taking place about this time next year. So I hope everyone's been inspired tonight. You've seen and heard all about the great talent we have here in the state. And I can tell you, the award winners are just the tip of the iceberg. We receive so many great nominations every year, and I think I sat in on all of the deliberations of the judges, and believe me when I tell you, there were some tough calls. So I'm telling you that to tell you this. Keep in mind, anybody that you think should be nominated for any of these awards that you heard about tonight. Nominations will be opening up in the spring of 2019. So think about everyone in your personal and professional networks that you think deserves to be up here on this stage. So with that, I would again like to thank all of our sponsors, including our lead evening sponsor, the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation, and everyone else, volunteer and otherwise, who served to make this event a success tonight. So with that, good night and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.